Hello, my name is Jennifer Prophet and I serve as the director of the Hopeful Neighborhood Project. Today, we have a special guest for you. We've invited artist Elizabeth Elaine to teach us about hand lettering using a design she created with the words, "Spread kindness." At the Hopeful Neighborhood Project, we believe the backbone of a healthy world is a hopeful neighborhood. And at the heart of a hopeful neighborhood are people building relationships with one another. We have a saying around here, everyone is a gift with gifts to share, and that inspired our art today, Spread Kindness. Sharing kindness with one another affirms their humanity and value, and it builds relationships and true community. Before we begin the demonstration, you'll want to find a few broadline markers, the classic Crayola markers are great, and several sheets of plain paper. You can also download the template as a guide. We hope that you will join us in spreading kindness and encouraging others to do the same with this hand-lettered sign. You can hang it in your window, share it with a neighbor, or use sidewalk chalk and share it with the whole neighborhood.
Thanks, Jennifer. I'm happy to be here. Go ahead and grab your Crayola markers or your broad tip markers. We're going to learn a little bit about hand brush lettering. Today we're going to do fake brush lettering, which is creating what you would see with a paintbrush, but doing it with a Crayola marker. So you're going to do a thin upstroke by using just the tip of your marker touching the paper, and a thick downstroke, which is the side of the marker touching the paper. So you can practice that by doing straight lines, or waves, or zigzags. And all I'm doing here is changing the angle of what my marker touches the paper. So after you've practiced a little bit, we can go ahead and start our piece. I have the printout here, and I'm just tracing on top of that. We're going to start with spread at the top. We're going to start with a thin upstroke, a thick downstroke, and a thin upstroke again. For the P, you're going to start with a thick downstroke and then a thin curve around the side. The R, you start at the bottom, then up, then across, thick down, and thin back up. Don't worry if this is hard or feels unnatural to you. I've been doing this for several years now, and so it comes more naturally the more often you do it. And you can do this as many times as you'd like until you like what you have at the end. So now that we finished the word spread, we're going to move on to kindness. And I chose pink for that word. So the K, I'm going to start up top here and do thin up, thick back down, and then thick to thin here. And anytime you have a slant, you can kind of choose whether or not you want to go thin or thick. So depending on what you feel like or how you think it looks, you can choose thick or thin there. So I kind of went in between. Then the I, I'm going to do thin up, thick down, up again for the N, and don't forget to dot your I. Thick down, thin up, thick down. And then the D is a fun letter, so we're going to do a thin up, thick down right here, like we're making a lowercase c. Then we're going to come up here, if you see this flourish I created, and we're going to follow that with a thin line till right here. Then we're going to go thick and finish that D there. And then just for fun, we didn't repeat a lowercase n, we're going to do a capital N here, so a thin up, a thick slant, and a thin back up. And then this E is going to go right into that first S. So thin across, thin up, thick down, thin right up into that S, and then you can rest your hand if you want. Thick down, thin across, and then a thin up, thick down, and then a thin curve at the bottom there. And let's go ahead and add another flourish here under kindness. So I'm going to do all of that thin. And because we're talking about our neighborhood, we're going to spread kindness in our neighborhood by drawing a fun neighborhood at the bottom of our paper. So you can go ahead and copy my neighborhood if you'd like, which is a fun, whimsical neighborhood, or you can draw your own. I'll add another pink house because I like pink today. It is bright and cheerful. And then we're going to go ahead and put the sun up here at the top. Kind of rising out of the word spread. And then I'm going to add 2 butterflies. And now we have a fun little piece of artwork to share with others. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you had fun.
Thank you, Elizabeth. That was fun. Thank you so much for sharing your gift with us. It looks so simple when you do it. And I'm excited that now I have a new skill. I also learned a tip from Elizabeth. If you want to do this with sidewalk chalk, you just do a skinny line up and then shade in your thick lines down, and you can do this all over your neighborhood. Well, I hope you enjoyed drawing with Elizabeth. I wanted to leave you with 2 encouragements. Number 1, share your drawing with your neighbors. But number 2, more than just sharing your drawings, also share kindness. See each person in your neighborhood as a gift with gifts to share, and show them kindness and respect. We guarantee it will make your neighborhood more hopeful and our world a better place.